My hair's a bit all over the shop today. Oh, this is too. Let's just move this. Oops. Never, never for me. Get myself comfy. My hair is a bit kind of crazy. This bit's a lovely twist out. This bit isn't a lovely twist out, so it's kind of half and half and half. There's this side and there's this side. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Oh, that's funny. I'm at home. It's a free talk. I'm at home. I'm not out on the town. I'm not I'm not in a venue or something. I'm just at home. I would be smarter in a proper live talk. I would be, you know, presentable. I'd do my hair nice. Skype. Times of gold are still too little. These hands could hold the world, So welcome to the Sunday stream. I've bought a phone holder. So I'm more professional today. I have a phone holder, which is really good actually. Let me just lower it a little. This way. £4 from Primark or Primark, whatever you call it. I just need to turn it. Oh, I can't. I'll move this way, so I'm more in the centre. Can't quite get it to stay this way. That'll do. So welcome to the Sunday morning stream. To find out more about what I do and who I am, go to rebekahmaroon.com, and it's all written out there. And there's a link to that website under this video in the information box, and also tells you to if you want to ask questions during this stream, you have to friend me on Skype. It's all written there. So welcome. So I do these streams most Sunday mornings at 10:30, except for once a month where I do a private online talk, which is paid for. But other than that, I'm here every Sunday at 10:30, and on Thursday I can sometimes do a stream as well, but not always. So just check on my website to make sure that I am doing a stream on Thursdays. I also do one-to-one sessions as well. I'm usually available in the evenings or at weekends, during the day and evening, as I'm child free at the weekend, so I'm free to talk. I was just thinking earlier how we don't have resting, resting time. Like, we get hurt as children, we get hurt. We get wounded as a child, and then we're pushed out into school, into college, into work, and there's no time. There's no time out. No time to heal that wound, to look at that wound. We're just pushed out on the production line. Keep moving, keep moving. Don't look at it. To the point where we can't rest anymore. It's too scary to rest. It feels uncomfortable. That momentum of the production line is strong. And it offers that distraction from the uncomfortableness. Keep busy, keep busy. It's too painful to stop. It often takes an illness, a serious illness, for us to stop. A big event to happen in our lives to force us to stop. And in that stopping, a whole tornado of things is going on. A whole tornado. Is released, or there's that awareness of that, of the uncomfortability, of the struggle, of the hurt, of the pain. That wounded child. Excuse me. But that wounded child needs to grow up. It needs to grow up. It needs to be allowed to heal and to grow up. It can't grow while that pain, that wound is still not being acknowledged. It can't be healed. So it can't grow up. And the way it feels here is that this awakening is about that child growing up. Or a product of the awakening is the child healing and growing up. The human fully flourishing. So how does this fit in with rest? With rest? I don't know. Let's tie it all together. Well. Funny. You can't grow up. You can't grow up. Well, while there's identification with you being that person, then you can't grow up. There can't be that growing up. Because that limitation of you as a person isn't who you are. Isn't who you are. So there can only really be a growing up of that wounded child when there's that seeing of who you are, when there's that collapsing of that identification with that person, with that human. Because the growing up is totally impersonal. It's totally impersonal. It's something that happens. It's just been described here, well, because it is, but it's got nothing to do with you. So the person, that sense of separation is obsessed with trying to do that, trying to grow up the child, trying to heal the child, trying to fix the child, trying to fix the life of that person. Because it's, in a way, it's a natural flow for the human to be flourishing, for the human to be free, for the human to grow, for the human to, just for this to be happening, just for this human to be a human experience. What seems to be in the way of that is that sense, that illusion, that energy of someone. So what you want is actually totally okay and totally expected. Like, it's totally natural, the wants of the human. It's not gonna lead to fulfillment. It's not gonna lead to you finding home. What you are, what you truly are, is home. What you truly are is at peace. What you truly are is love. So that seeker trying to find that, trying to find home, trying to find love, trying to find peace in the human realm is the illusion. is the suffering. So this is the resting place. It's not somewhere in time. It's not at the end of a process, not at the end of reaching somewhere or attaining something. What you long for is what this is. But there's that running away from this. That running into time, running into the imagination. There's nothing wrong here. Everything is held here. Everything is happening here. So you're welcome to ask any questions. Through Skype. Hi, Monica. Hi. Oh. Oh, I didn't see your message. Sorry, Monica. Could you tell us your experiences, struggles you had when you were a seeker? And how long did it take you until you became enlightened? I know for every individual it's different, but I'm sure lots of us struggle in this journey, and it would be helpful, very helpful, to hear your experiences on that. Thank you. Can you tell us your experiences, struggles you had when you were a seeker? Oh God. How long was it? That's a very big question, and a hard question to even think about. Well, the biggest struggle was that I existed. That was the biggest struggle. That feeling of I am here, I am trapped here. I exist. That was the biggest struggle I can think of. This is me. This limitation, this person. I exist. That was the heaviest struggle. I mean, I have struggles around being human, so I have struggles with the way this society is. So I get overloaded quite a lot. Don't quite understand social stuff very well. That's more linked to being autistic, more linked to the particular human that this body is. But the biggest struggle was that I existed. Separation. That this is real. I am real. I am someone separate. I am limited. That was the biggest struggle. How long did it take to become enlightened? Until you became, enlightened. Well, I always was enlightened. I always was enlightened. It's just that there was this play of I am somebody playing out. What I am was always enlightened, always was, always free. This phone keeps moving. I don't know why it keeps dropping or something. That's weird. Yeah. So it isn't that the person becomes enlightened. There's just this collapsing of that illusion that you are someone separate. And then there is enlightenment. There is what there always has been. There is this freedom, appearing as everything, appearing as human, appearing as computer or phone or table, appearing as this room, appearing as these words, appearing as thoughts, appearing as feelings. That always has been. That always has been. So maybe you're asking more, how long before that illusion dropped? I don't know. I'm sure, I know for every individual it's different, but I'm sure maybe for every individual, every one who talks about this, maybe the awakening story might be different, but what's being pointed of isn't different for every person. This can't be different for every person. It isn't chunks of or pieces of it. It's wholeness. It can't be different for different people. Maybe the story around it could be different, but what's being spoken about ultimately isn't different for every individual. It can't be. It can't be. You're imagining it as an individual thing, as a personal thing, that someone's becoming enlightened, that different people have become enlightened, and that isn't the case at all. Different people don't become enlightened because there isn't different people to become enlightened. It's wholeness. It's wholeness seemingly operating through different forms. But it's just the end or the collapsing of that illusion, that wholeness seemingly operating through that particular form is a limited entity, a limited person. It's the end of that illusion. Like there's somebody in the body having a personal experience. the end of someone existing. And with the end of that someone seeming to exist as someone separate, there's wholeness. So you're asking wholeness. When did you become wholeness? When did you become enlightened? It always has been. Thank you, Monica. If you want to add more or ask more, you can. Maybe I didn't get your question very clearly, I'm not sure. Dee. Hi, Dee. Been tripping since our last session. Question. When you say we have to acknowledge, am I blocking them? You have to acknowledge and allow the wounded child to heal. Can you elaborate on that, please? When you say we have to... well, I'm not sure I said you have to acknowledge that and allow that. Maybe I did, but I didn't mean that. I don't think I said that. You have to acknowledge and allow the unwounded child to heal. You have to remember when I speak, I'm not talking to you, to that sense of a person. Maybe I misheard or misunderstood. Yeah. I didn't say it as in you have to do that. Or maybe I did, but I didn't mean that as a personal thing. It's not an instruction to this dream you. It's more of a description of what happens. I'm never instructing anyone, I'm just describing something. I hope that helps. It's just what happens as this becomes freed up. The human becomes freed up of that energy of separation, so naturally there's a natural movement to heal. The body will naturally move towards healing itself, becoming more like a wound that you have in your arm. It will naturally move towards healing. It's just the way that this is. It will move towards growth. It will multiply, move towards growth, expanding. It's just the way this reality is. And it seems as if that energy of contraction is stopping that. It tries to stop that. Its presence, this sense of someone, seems to interfere with that natural movement, that natural growth. So when that stops being there, then the body will move to optimum health. The organism will move towards optimum health. Doesn't mean being perfect or being idea of perfect. It's just it's going to move towards being more whole. This isn't for that person or the mind to take hold of and try to now heal the wounded child. It's just what happens. I'm just describing what happens. And maybe there can be a resonance with that, like a resonance with how that feels. Like it feels like a relaxing. A relaxing. Like an opening up. That's how it feels here. Thank you. So Monica's replied. Monica. Yes, what I meant was more to do with the end of the illusion. I was curious about how the role of Rebecca came to an end. It's difficult to explain in English. Oh, okay. No, it's hard to talk about anyway, English or not English, but so yeah, I meant what was more to do with what I meant was more to do with the end of the illusion. And did I answer that, or did you want more to me to say more on that, or are you satisfied? Yes, it would be great to know how you felt when everything collapsed. Thank you, Rebecca. You see, when I talk about this change, this shift or this collapse, when I talk about it, it sounds as if I'm talking about an event. This event that happened in time. This thing that happened, this solid thing that happened as an actual thing. That's the way our language is. If you describe, I don't know, falling over last week, it implies it happened as an actual event that happened in time. But when I talk about this shift, this collapse that's happened, it's not an event that's happened. It's not something that's happened like that. At least not here. And so because of that, it makes it very hard to describe how I felt when this not event happened. Because it didn't happen as an event. So I can't then say when this thing happened, I felt like that or like this, or because it didn't happen like that. I'm talking about an end of an illusion, an end of this thing that seemed to be happening, this sense of I am someone having an experience, I am somebody in here thinking thoughts, feeling things, doing things. That isn't no longer a solid, an actual entity. So there's still thoughts about what I'm going to do, and there's still feelings, and there's still those things happening as thoughts and feelings, but there's no longer a sense holding it all together as in that is me. That's a solid somebody moving through time as an actuality. That has no longer, that isn't the experience anymore. That isn't playing out anymore. But I can't pinpoint an event in time that stopped. It's just not playing out anymore. So that then that response doesn't give you much juice, doesn't give you much of anything to like compare yourself with, to hope for, to work towards. It doesn't give you anything you can use, the mind can use. So it's not very satisfactory to the mind, that answer. Because it can't then hold it. It can't then use it. But that's the way it is here. I can't say anything else. Thank you, Monica. So then what's left is what's happening. What's left is thoughts, is feelings, is sensations, is actions, is life appearing. That's what's left. Life's appearing, life is happening. Oh, thank you, it was beautiful. Not disappointing, it was beautiful. Great. Thank you, Monica. This is it. This is it. This is it. Life happening. This is it. This is it. Okay. So, thank you for your questions. Ooh. And yeah, I'll see you soon. I can't commit to a day. It could be Thursday, it could be next Sunday, I don't know, but I'll see you soon. Bye.